Welcome to Notebook, a program of interest to the St. Lucie County community that features information about St. Lucie County schools. Guests include school district and community leaders with focus on children in our community.
Hello and welcome to this latest edition of Notebook, and we are glad you're here today. We have some great news to share with you, and looking forward to some amazing things coming down the pike for St. Lucie Public Schools. And today we have a very special guest with us, a good friend of mine and a wonderful co-worker, and we are going to introduce Miss Korissa Diaz, who is our Outreach and Recruitment Specialist for St. Lucie Public Schools. She is new to this role here in the last few months. We've been together and kind of hit the ground running. So we are very pleased to have you here and looking forward to the next few minutes and talking about what's happening for St. Lucie Public Schools. But before we do that, share with us a little bit about yourself. How did you come into this role as the Outreach and Recruitment, and kind of where you started in the school district from the beginning?
Okay, so I actually graduated from Port St. Lucie High School a long time ago, and I then went to Indian River State College, and then I transferred to University of Central Florida to earn my master's degree in counselor education. So I was actually a school counselor for the last 11 years, and I started at Gaines Academy. And so while I was at Performance Base, my most recent stint as a school counselor, I learned about an opportunity to help introduce these new magnet programs to St. Lucie Public Schools, and I took off from there.
And here you are.
Here I am.
Here I am. We're very excited about that. So share a little bit with your role. What does it mean to be the Outreach and Recruitment Specialist? You know, for people who may not be aware of some of the new things that we're doing through this magnet grant that we just received. So talk to us a little bit about what you're doing.
So my role is to go out into the community and educate and inform not only community members, but parents, students, educators, anybody that I can that I can get their ear and tell them about what is happening and all of the things to look forward to for St. Lucie Public Schools when it comes to these magnet programs that are coming. That includes open houses that will be coming up. That includes going to events and promoting it and just talking about it and making sure that people understand what these opportunities mean to the students in St. Lucie County Public Schools.
That's awesome. And so let's start with CAST first.
Okay.
We're gonna kind of focus on two of the schools today. Later on in the year, we'll get to come back and focus a little bit more on Westwood, because Westwood's being delayed a year. So we'll kind of look at that. But let's first talk about CAST. What is going to make CAST really unique, and what are you the most excited to share with parents and students as you're talking to them?
CAST is easy to talk about. It's a creative arts academy. Where CAST comes from is Creative Arts Academy of St. Lucie, and it really encompasses all of the arts: dance, musical theater, drama, instrumental music, media arts, drama, or I already said drama, graphic arts, and then there's a pre-collegiate coursework that's going to be added to that, and it just ties in the arts. And the beauty of it is that there's really nothing like it on the Treasure Coast. So it affords the opportunity for students and parents that are truly interested in arts, in all aspects of it, an opportunity for their students to showcase this at a school, not just in the community, not just after school, but in a school, and really embrace the arts through education. So they'll not only get this high level of education, but they get to express themselves in their creative way.
There you go. And I know a part of your role also kind of incorporates a lot of the partnerships through the community as well. Maybe share a few of those partnerships. Who are some of those organizations that you're working with? I know we were with a group today, so maybe even mention those.
Right, so the Fort Pierce City Council, we're partnering with them in the Peacock District and inspiring the arts throughout Fort Pierce and St. Lucie County, and really just, adding that whole concept of arts and embracing it and really telling people about this opportunity. And the really cool thing about CAST that I forgot to mention is that they are adding a black box theater. They're revitalizing the entire school, which was Fort Pierce Magnet School of the Arts.
Right.
And they're which is already a historically beautiful school. They're adding all of this, inventive type things for people to be creative. So the Black Box Theater, Communique Cafe, they're adding an additional dance studio. And there will be performance opportunities built in that are unique to CAST and that only a performing arts school is really capable of doing. So the partnerships will help build on that, because as the community embraces it, the whole, everybody wins, I guess is the best way to put that, right?
Exactly. And one thing that I remember was really significant is the hour changes. So talk to us a little bit about the school hours being different.
Great. And I don't want to forget that, because it is so important. As you know, many artists have after-school commitments, or students, period, have after-school commitments. And the old hours were quite late into the day, I think around 4:30. So now they've moved it back, and 8:30 a.m. will be the start time, and 3 p.m. will be the stop time, meaning that students have plenty of time to get to after-school events, which is really key in pulling in some students that have a lot of those commitments.
Right, especially those kids, taking private dance lessons, taking vocal lessons, whatever it might be. That's definitely going to be significant for a lot of families. So I know as part of your marketing piece, you've been spending time getting brochures, getting mailings, getting all kinds of things created. And one of the things that's been created is our promotional videos. So we're going to take just a moment to kind of pause. We're going to come back here in just a second, but we want to be able to share this promotional video just to kind of share with our viewers a little bit of the background and some things that they can really look forward to coming our way through CAST. So here we go. So we're going to share this video with you, and we'll come back in just a moment. Fort Pierce Magnet School of the Arts is now going to become the Creative Arts Academy of St. Lucie. And this is going to be a K-8 Creative Arts Magnet School where students are going to be able to reach their fullest potentials both as artists and performers and as academic learners.
I feel like it would be a life-changing experience because I would be able to do academics, but I would also be able to perform, and I think that would just be the best of both worlds.
Going to a school like CAST would have been an amazing opportunity because I feel like it would have really opened up the world of theater to me a lot earlier, which would have helped me going into college and auditioning for all these schools and the whole audition process.
It also gives students the skills to learn, self-discipline, responsibility, teamwork. There's so many components, and what a difference it's going to make for our community.
All right, so welcome back, and that video hopefully gave you a little perspective of what's coming our way with CAST, our Creative Arts Academy of St. Lucie. And as we were waiting for the promotional video to be over, we were kind of talking about specifics. So let's talk a little bit about the enrollment, the grade levels that will be attending CAST, and the importance of applying. We want to definitely get in there, but talk to us a little bit about the application process.
Absolutely. So the enrollment has begun. So we have to make sure that parents understand that the enrollment has started. So parents can go to the stlucieschools.org website, and on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a link for enrollment. Once they click there, it'll take them to another page, and on the right-hand side of the page, there will be an area that says Magnet School Applications, and if they scroll down, they can click on Apply Now, and they'll find the Magnet School application. It is important to note that CAST is a kindergarten through 8th grade school, and there will be seats available in kindergarten through 8th grade for this upcoming 2018-2019 school year. So it's really important that parents get in there and get that application in. If they're interested at all, they can obviously contact Student Assignment if they have any snafu or hang-ups with finding the application, but it is so important to get on and get that application done.
And one thing that we'll be sure and do at the end of the show is provide your contact information too, because we want you to be the face of the marketing piece. So when they think of CAST and they think of Sam Gaines and the Magnet Schools, they think of Korissa. So that's going to that's going to be our goal here at the end. So as we move forward, let's talk a little bit about Sam Gaines Academy. Sam Gaines is a little bit unique because we're going to be incorporating a little bit different strategy, a little bit different theme. So talk to us about the enrollment for that and what is unique about these programs here at Sam Gaines. I'm amazed at all of the stuff that's coming our way. So share with us a little bit about that.
Okay, so some of Gaines Academy of Emerging Technologies, which is formerly known as Samuel S. Gaines Academy, is a kindergarten through 8th grade school that is changing the look of that school a lot. There, you got to think gaming, coding, robotics, maker spaces, virtual and augmented realities. This is a school that is truly embracing the 21st century skills that are necessary, really necessary, to be successful in life nowadays.
Right.
You know, in all honesty, these skills are going to be related to science, technology, engineering, and math. Everybody, that's such a buzzword right now, STEM. So most people know what that is. But this is an academy of an emerging technology. It's going to offer those pre-collegiate course offerings. They're going to be embedded into how these students learn and how they gain these 21st century skills. And I know, you start to use those terms of virtual and augmented reality. What does that look like? That's literally children having the set and of the technology to work on something that is like reality but isn't.
Right.
So it's just, it's really the opportunity there is insane. And then they have these agri-tech and these science medical pathways to promote inquiry-based learning. And that is learning through innovation labs, design challenges, really taking the level of learning to a whole different place, allowing students to really be creative, innovative, to not only think and learn about something in a book, but then to bring it to a reality. So huge opportunity for students to really be able to learn it in a whole different technological way.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this is a little bit more unique in the fact that we're going to be recruiting kindergarten and 6th grade for this coming year. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, so right now Samuel Gaines Academy is a kindergarten through 8th grade school. It has a substantial number of students in that school, and everybody will be touched by the magnet, but for the first year of implementation, the magnet seats will be open to kindergarten students and 6th grade students, so those enrollment grades, and then it's like a cohort model. It will roll up, and every year there'll be an it'll additionally add a grade level to where after 3 years of implementation, the entire middle school is a magnet, and after 5 years of implementation, the whole entire school will be a magnet.
So by the time the grant is actually over, and because the grant is 5 years, then the whole school, K through 8, will be magnet featured.
Right.
And then I also heard that our kindergarten and 6th grade students will be one-to-one with a computer.
That's right.
Okay, so share with us about that.
Okay, so what one-to-one means is that every student has their own technology, meaning a tablet or a laptop computer that they take home with them, just like they would a book,
Right.
and that they can bring back to school with them and then utilize anywhere on the campus. The beauty of that really is that everything's so technologically based, period, not just at the Academy of Emerging Technologies, but period, that these students can really utilize that in all facets of the way that they learn. And we want students to be really comfortable with that type of technology and utilizing it for learning.
Right, and I know there are some really key partnerships that are going to be part of both of these schools, and Microsoft being one of them. And I know there's some really cool things that are going to be happening with them through Minecraft. The goal is to be a Microsoft demonstration school.
Yeah.
That's a huge opportunity for St. Lucie County, and that would really be the first of its kind, really, here in St. Lucie County. So all the opportunities that are going to be available to our kids in these schools is it's going to be phenomenal. And I'll tell you, if my kids were back in, grade school or elementary or middle school, I have no doubt that they would be at one of these schools. And and how many times that we've been out in public that people have said, I wish we would have had a school like this when I was growing up. And now that it's it's here, you know, you hope that families aren't going to miss this opportunity to really be a part of this. So for Sam Gaines, we also have another video, promotional video that we've been sharing. It's on YouTube, it's on the websites, it's going to be everywhere, really just trying to promote and making your job a little easier too. So when you're at events, you'll be able to play those and kind of share those. So let's take a little pause and we'll go to the Sam Gaines for Emerging Technologies video, and then we'll be back in just a second.
Sam Gaines Academy will become the new Samuel S. Gaines Academy of Emerging Technologies. This is a K-8 magnet school that will meet the needs of our students for future jobs and opportunities available to them. The students, although immersed in technology and surrounded by the latest of innovations, will be learning skills to prepare them for careers in a myriad of disciplines.
Being able to connect with other students who like to do the same things that I do, especially if it's things like technology, it's really different and it's very exciting.
I think it would be cool to go to a technology-driven school because it will help me learn faster.
Taking college classes in math and science is difficult. Having a school that would have been able to help prepare me more would have made life easier.
Our students will just be so immersed in it that they will become experts and really be competitive, have an edge over students that don't get exposed to those courses until later in their educational coursework.
Well, welcome back, and hopefully you enjoyed those promotional videos, and hopefully you'll get a chance to share these and tell your neighbors, tell your friends, whoever it is, to join us on YouTube. You can always go and Google those. What would we do without Google these days?
I don't know.
I know. And to really be able to share that information, you know, if let's say they haven't received one of our brochures or our flyers, you know, our postcards, you know, it's so easy to just hop on that laptop and Google, you know, Magnet Schools of St. Lucie County, and you'd be able to find, you know, our promotional videos to share with other people. So hopefully our viewers will be helping us with a little bit of recruiting, which would be great. That'd be awesome. So let's continue. We've talked about CAST a little bit. We've talked about Sam Gaines and those special things that are happening in both of those schools. A lot of people have questions about how to apply. Who is eligible to go? So let's chat a little bit about who is eligible. Who can actually apply to go to these schools?
Okay. So I would encourage any families that are interested in either of these schools to apply. So they're so unique in what they have to offer that I would definitely take into account that this is a family commitment, that this is a team effort to make sure that you really are interested in the specific programs that are offered. Go tour the schools, come talk to us, email me, whatever it takes to make sure that you're comfortable with this decision. But any interested student in kindergarten through 8th grade, going into kindergarten through 8th grade, can apply to CAST, and any student entering kindergarten or 6th grade can be admitted to Sam Gaines. The application is live now, as we already talked about, right? It's on the website. Go there, get that application in. There is a lottery system that in terms of who gets the assigned seats, and CAST can expect some auditioning pieces once they're admitted, not to get in, but once they're admitted, in terms of what they would be interested in. But any student, any family that is interested in an opportunity to create their own future, to really start to build themselves into what they think they may become as a learner, and to really invent their future as well. Right. So there's anybody in those grades that I just mentioned. Any families that are interested, come pick our brains, come to the open houses that we'll talk about in a little bit, and let us answer those questions so you can feel comfortable with this choice as a family. Because I do think it's an opportunity that I wouldn't want anybody to miss, because it's so unique and it's such a great opportunity, and it's really nowhere around. There's no schools that are doing some of these amazingly innovative things and creative things. So anybody.
Yeah, very good. And anybody can also receive transportation, and that's that's another key question. It's set up exactly as Lincoln Park, FK Suite, Fair Lawn. Those are the magnet schools that have been around for a long period of time that people are very familiar with. So knowing that they receive, if they live at the southern end of the district or the northern end of the district, they still have transportation that will be available to them. Also explaining too, some of those there might be stops per se. It wouldn't be like at the end of your street or maybe at your door, but there would be like hubs, stops, community stops. Thank you for saying that. The community stops that will make it possible for students to have transportation to the school, which is awesome. And then when you talk about the audition piece, just kind of coming back to that, I remember in some of our conversations that we've talked about, many of the art schools that we've visited, that is part of their enrollment criteria, where this is very different from that. Very different. So, and at least until the grant is at its completion, which is 5 years away, students will have that exposure to the audition experience, but it's really meant for putting them in the right level, because you don't want a first-year dancer in with someone who's been taking dance since they were 3, or an instrumentalist who's been taking private lessons for a matter of time, and then you're in the same class with someone who's been just beginning. So that's the beauty of it, and giving them that experience too, because if they're wanting to go into theater or auditioning for Mr. Madden's summer plays, having that audition experience behind them is just another key piece to being part of the arts. So that's exciting. So when do the magnets open? That's another big question. Is this going to happen in this fall? Is it going to be delayed? Talk to us about that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the 2018-2019 school year, so this August, right around the corner, it's already April, they will be opening. Both schools are set to open as magnets. August 2018, CAST will be premiering kindergarten through 8th grade, and Sam Gaines Academy of Emerging Technologies will be creating starting in the fall of 2018 as well. And just to keep in mind, I know it can get confusing because we're talking about 2 magnets at the same time, but just they're both opening. Everybody at both schools will be touched by the magnet, but magnet seats at Sam Gaines are specific to kindergarten and 6th grade students.
Right.
So, just to
never hurts to reiterate that one more time, because that one does get a little confusing. Yeah. So, which is awesome. But every child will be touched by that magnet program and get to be a part of all those amazing things that are going to be happening there. So I know as part of your role, you're doing a lot of events, a lot of marketing, getting out there and speaking to people, and getting phone calls now and emails, and very excited about that. So let's share with us some of the different events that you have been at, and maybe some that are coming up that we can share with people to say, hey, if you want to get some information about what's coming to St. Lucie Public Schools, come and see us at this event. So talk about that.
Okay, so we've already been at the St. Lucie County Fair. We went to the Seafood Festival at the Civic Center in Port St. Lucie. We went to the Easter egg hunt in Tradition. Those are some of the events we've been to. And we are still continuing to plan events. We will, in the very next few coming days, we'll be at the Mets Safety Day. That is at the Mets Stadium. Okay. On April 28th. Of course, you can find more information on WLX TV, which is a great resource. And you can come back to this as many times if you want to hear our voices. Friday Fest is also something that will be upcoming. We're going to attend a few Friday Fests to get the information out, so you can expect us to be there. The Farmers Market, the Saturday morning Farmers Market, in Fort Pierce. There on the water, we will be there. There will be other various events throughout the summer. They're up and coming. We are working with the city of Fort Pierce. We were just speaking with them this morning, trying to plan and to get into some of the events that are happening there. As well as school-based open houses. Those dates are still kind of being determined and being worked through, but we do plan on having open houses at the schools, at both schools, Samuel Gaines Academy of Emerging Technologies, as well as Creative Arts Academy of St. Lucie, so that parents and families can come in and see what these schools are starting to offer. Of course, we're in the, the implementation phase, so there's building and there's that type of stuff happening. However, I think it's important for families to be able to see what there is happening at these schools, because it is truly remarkable.
Yeah. And very groundbreaking for sure.
Yeah.
And some of the ways that, if parents listening might be saying, well, how am I going to find out about these? What are some of the ways that parents will be contacted?
I would absolutely recommend that parents, when they're at the events, if they can, leave me their email addresses. That's obviously one way. But I would say to every parent, any parent that has a student in St. Lucie Public Schools, like our Facebook page. Get on there and like our Facebook page. When you do that, you immediately get the information that St. Lucie County Public Schools posts, and we do post lots of information about these events, and you can expect that you will be in the loop if you're following us. We also have a YouTube that I would recommend that they follow. It's got some great information. The videos that you just saw are on there.
Yeah.
And there's always good information going on anyways, but that's one way to stay informed and make sure that you are really on top of what's happening in St. Lucie Public Schools. That would be my very best suggestion, and then second only to emailing me directly, which we'll share in a moment, or coming to the events and leaving me your email address.
Right. And some of the things also, I know there's going to be some mailings done. We kind of touched on that a little bit at the beginning.
Yes.
So there'll be opportunities for people to get information through Connect Eds.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll do like the school messengers, where they call you and say, hey, don't miss this event.
Yes.
So there'll be lots of ways. And again, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Download that St. Lucie Public School app. That's always a plus.
Oh, yes.
I've got mine downloaded on my
too.
phone, so I'm getting pretty techie here. But we want to thank you for all your work on what you're doing for these projects. This is making making a difference for the whole community, not just those few students that will be in those schools, but this is a community changer.
Absolutely.
And what a difference it's going to make for our students, our faculty, administration, families, just in what it's going to do for Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, and really changing the future of our area. So, and getting to be a part of that. Congratulations on the work that you're doing, and just looking so far. I'm just fortunate that I get to work alongside with you, and excited about what's coming around the corner. So, some great things. So before we go, if you would share your email address, and we'll share our shared phone number, because right now we're still sharing a number, but share that with us real quick.
Absolutely. My email address is korissa.diaz@stlucieschools.org. So just like everybody else's, korissa.diaz, and I won't spell it out for you, but it is korissa.diaz@stlucieschools.org, and you can reach us at 772-429-3640. And I'll say one last thing. Everybody we've talked to that's in the community members are so excited about this opportunity. So I hope that everybody listening is really excited too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for being with us, and we'll look forward to hearing even greater things, and we'll have you back on the show maybe in the fall to talk about where we are and how things are going. I think that would be really awesome, and be able to share some pictures of what's happening in the schools and just kind of show the progress. And but we really want to encourage families, if you are at all interested, please visit stlucieschools.org, go to that parent page and click on that, and then you'll go down to where it says enrollment, and then that will take you to the magnet application. And we don't want you to miss this opportunity to have your kids be a part of just something amazing. So thanks for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Notebook.